we are taking extreme care to have the best data security protocols in place, and the nation which would be accepting this would have sovereign autonomy over the systems. Finally, you would be getting full flexibility to host the system either here or on your own platform in your nation. So this flexibility would be provided to whosoever gets into collaboration with us. Over the past couple of months, we have also worked extensively to document every aspect of COVID. We have developed comprehensive training and support material that would help ease the transition of COVID in your respective countries. We are also currently in the process of training and certifying the various agencies whose services may be availed as per your convenience. So to summarize things, this is a simple 7-step process that may be followed for you to implement the COVID in your country. In the first step, you will have to reach out to us through the Ministry of External Affairs, Government of India. And once you show your interest, we'll arrange for a detailed demo of COVID platform with you. And after this step, if you are interested, we'll sign an MOU with you, and the further processes would have to be taken up by the interested country with the support of technical agencies, which we would be empaneling. So you'll be given a flexibility either to do it yourself or through the support of the technical agency, wherein the requirement detailing would happen, and the development and customization as per local requirement would take place. After testing and demo, the platform would go live in your countries. Thank you. So that's it from our side. Thank you very much.
Thank you a lot, sir. Thank you for sharing the roadmap for COVID with all of us. Having a well-defined roadmap will definitely pave way for the easy adoption of COVID by the countries. I now invite Dr. Praveen Gedam, Mission Director, National Digital Health Mission and Additional Chief Executive Officer, National Health Authority, to speak about the National Digital Health Mission, India's digital health programs. Dr. Praveen Gedam, an Indian Administrative Service Officer, is currently serving as the Additional Chief Executive Officer of the National Health Authority and the Mission Director of National Digital Health Mission. A career bureaucrat, sir is also a qualified doctor. Many initiatives and best practices developed and implemented by sir have been scaled up as policies at state and national levels. Over to you, sir.
Namaskar and welcome to all dignitaries and the guests. After the session on COVID, I shall take this opportunity to briefly explain the upcoming Digital Health Initiative of India, encompassing all the areas of healthcare, that is National Digital Health Mission. Through digital health, we aim to effectively use IT to improve the quality of healthcare, improve access to affordable care and health outcomes. India, an IT powerhouse, has started implementation of the National Digital Health Mission with a vision to create national digital health ecosystem that supports universal health coverage in an efficient, accessible, inclusive, affordable, timely, and safe manner. The implementation follows certain fundamental principles such as open APIs and interoperability, federated architecture, and privacy and security by design. India has made significant progress. Go back slide. India has made significant progress in ensuring digital connectivity with over 96% of villages covered. India has more than 1 billion mobile subscribers, more than 12 GB data usage per person per month, and over 8 billion GB data consumption per month, the highest in the world. Backslide. In addition to these, certain digital public goods such as Aadhaar, UPI, and DigiLocker, all of them having clocked billions of transactions, uniquely place India to roll out a mission as big as this one. Recent success stories of digital health initiatives like CoWIN, Arogya Setu, and eSanjeevani have shown that India can achieve this mammoth task with ease. Before we move to the architecture and stack, let us see a couple of use cases of CoWIN, of NDHM. CoWIN is already integrated with NDHM and is being used to digitally identify citizens during COVID vaccination. We will soon be able to see NDHM platform being used by those not having immediate physical access to healthcare. Take the case of a villager not having a specialist doctor in the vicinity. he will be able to connect to a specialist in a metro city and take his consultation. Now you may ask, what is so special about this? The unique feature of this is interoperability, which I will explain after explaining the stack in brief. As described in the presentation on the India stack, NDHM rides on the India's common digital public goods, such as the famous JAM Trinity of India, covering Jan Dhan bank account, Aadhaar and mobiles. It also includes other innovations like unified payment interface, e-sign and consent artifact. These are generic building blocks and can be used for any sector, including health. On the top of this base layer, we have a health data layer consisting of registries, standards, etc. Over these, there will be APIs for various services and features, which will be exposed to the top layer of various user applications developed by public and private sector. This will create a network of all players in the ecosystem, including hospitals and doctors for all systems of medicine and specialties. It will also include related players such as yoga practitioners and ambulance service providers, which can be, and this platform can be used for searching, booking, and availing these services. However, unlike platform-centric model, which we can see in the world of e-commerce, NDHM shall use open protocols so that two different solutions of two different providers can speak with each other. This will improve the choice of consumers and prevent the creation of monopolies. Core building blocks, including the three main registries, will serve as a single source of truth of data, facilitating reference applications such as personal health record or telemedicine solution to connect with each other. Thus, entities creating or generating health records like doctors and labs can link these to Health ID. These records can then be accessed after consent taken on a digital platform by those who are intending to view them, such as other doctors and hospitals. This universal health interface will benefit all the stakeholders. Citizens shall have better access to healthcare and better choice of providers at competing prices. It shall be possible to discover and get connected to doctors, including GPs from anywhere in India and going forward even from abroad. Doctors will have access to complete medical history in the form of longitudinal health record from all service providers, all healthcare providers, of course with the consent of the patient. Pharmacies and laboratories, including small neighborhood establishments, will be easily discoverable, improving their business opportunities and ease of creating and sharing records. Due to reliable registries, health tech companies and startups can now focus solely on innovation, leading to availability of wider options for users. To sum up, the ecosystem will provide longitudinal health records to patients and healthcare providers. It will streamline the implementation of various health programs with effective dovetailing of resources. It can improve preventive care and monitoring of health indicators will be easier thanks to big data. Today, at this global platform, we can start discussing about possibilities of international collaboration. One can discuss about various options such as international telemedicine facilities in which Indian doctors, including Ayurveda and yoga practitioners, can provide healthcare to patients abroad, and Indian patients can also benefit from doctors outside India. Various companies can also consider participating in the tech side to provide better and innovative solutions in compliance with the relevant regulations. International health records, including increasingly important vaccination reports, can help to create longitudinal health records which should be acceptable internationally. International health insurance can also be strengthened, ensuring seamless access to healthcare across borders. Nation can also benefit from this initiative as global public health is the new area of concern. Standardized data, compiled, aggregated, and anonymized, can be used to monitor global public health, and such data can also be used effectively for research and development. While today we are gathered here to explore possibilities of adopting COVID for your respective vaccination program, I hope we can also begin discussions to explore partnerships in the larger domain of digital health initiatives in the near future. I understand that I have tried to explain an extremely complex system in a matter of few minutes. Should you have any queries, you can ask these during question and answer session. As the world is grappling with the devastating pandemic, in the end, I would like to convey our solidarity with all the countries by quoting an ancient Sanskrit verse. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinah, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu, Ma Kashchit Dukkha Bhag Bhave, Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. May all be happy, may all be free from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one suffer. Peace, peace, peace. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir. Thanks a lot. NDHM provides the necessary backbone to support the integrated digital health infrastructure of the country. I now request Sri Vikram, Joint Director, National Health Authority, to conclude this technical session with a formal vote of thanks. Sri Vikram, an Indian Revenue Service Officer, currently working as Joint Director, Coordination, National Digital Health Mission at NHA. In his career spanning over a decade, he has held key responsibilities in tax administration of the country. Over to you, sir.
Respected Dr. Harshvardhan, Sir, Honorable Minister of